Ladies and gentlemen, life is a journey that constantly moves forward. Every experience, whether good or bad, teaches valuable lessons. However, it is essential to understand that growth requires leaving behind what no longer serves you. Returning to old relationships, familiar places, or former jobs often means retracing your steps instead of progressing toward your true potential. When a relationship ends, it does so for a reason. It may have taught you love, patience, resilience, or even self-worth. But when you go back, you risk erasing the lessons learned. The person you once were no longer exists in the same form, and neither does the situation. If you outgrew a relationship, returning to it will not bring happiness. Instead, it may bring back the same challenges that once caused you pain. Towns or environments tied to your past may hold memories, but they do not hold your future. People change, places change, and what once felt like home might no longer fit your current self. Revisiting old places can trap you in a cycle of nostalgia, preventing you from exploring new horizons and embracing the unknown. The same principle applies to jobs. If you left a workplace due to dissatisfaction, lack of growth, or an unhealthy environment, going back may seem like a safe option, but it is often a step backward. Growth requires challenges, new experiences, and the courage to step beyond comfort zones. Returning to a job you once left may mean settling for less than you deserve. Progress is a path of transformation. It requires trust in the journey and faith in the lessons learned. The past is a stepping stone, not a destination. Let it shape you, but never let it define your future. Move forward with confidence, embracing the opportunities that await, rather than revisiting closed chapters. Growth requires forward movement. Life is an ongoing journey, and the only way to truly evolve is by continuously moving ahead. When people cling to the past, whether it's a relationship, a town they once lived in, or a job they once held, they often find themselves stuck in a cycle that prevents real progress. The comfort of the familiar can be tempting, but it does not foster personal development. Growth demands that individuals step outside of their comfort zones, embrace change, and welcome the uncertainties that come with new experiences. A relationship, for example, often ends because something within it was no longer working. People grow apart, values shift, and experiences shape individuals in different ways. Returning to an old relationship can feel comforting at first, because it brings a sense of familiarity. The past memories, the laughter, and the moments of happiness create an illusion that what once was can be revived. However, the reality is that the circumstances that led to the end of that relationship still exist. People may promise that things will be different, but unless genuine change has taken place, old patterns will resurface. The arguments that once drained emotional energy, the misunderstandings that created distance, and the unresolved issues that linger do not disappear simply because time has passed. Instead of revisiting something that has already run its course, growth requires the courage to move forward and embrace new connections that align with one's current self. The same applies to towns and places tied to one's past. A place may hold sentimental value, with childhood memories, familiar streets, and a sense of belonging. However, just as people change, so do environments. Returning to an old town might feel like stepping into a time capsule, but it is often an illusion. The people who once made that place special may have moved on. The opportunities that once existed may no longer be there, and the version of oneself that once fit in that space may no longer be the same. Growth means seeking new experiences, expanding one's horizons, and allowing oneself to evolve beyond the boundaries of a place that no longer fosters personal development. Moving forward means embracing new environments that challenge and inspire, rather than retreating to a past that no longer aligns with the present self. When it comes to career choices, the same principle applies. People leave jobs for a reason, whether it is lack of fulfillment, limited opportunities for advancement, or an unhealthy work environment. Going back to an old job might feel like a safe choice, especially when faced with uncertainty or financial pressure. However, safety is not always synonymous with growth. If a job once made an individual feel stagnant, undervalued, or uninspired, returning to it will likely lead to the same dissatisfaction. Personal and professional growth comes from taking risks, seeking new challenges, and pursuing opportunities that align with one's aspirations. Returning to a past job often means settling for familiarity rather than striving for something better. Growth demands trust in one's abilities to navigate new opportunities rather than retreating to past situations that no longer serve a purpose. Forward movement is essential for self-discovery. Every step into the unknown provides new lessons, perspectives, and opportunities for expansion. Holding on to the past, whether in relationships, places, or jobs, creates an illusion of stability, but it often results in stagnation. Growth is about trusting the process, embracing the discomfort that comes with change, and believing that something better lies ahead. The past has already played its role in shaping who a person is. Its purpose is to provide wisdom, not to be relived. Moving forward does not mean forgetting the past. It means honoring it by applying its lessons while choosing not to remain confined within it. It means recognizing that while the past may have been significant, the future holds even greater possibilities. Growth requires stepping into the unknown, even when it feels uncertain. It demands the strength to walk away from what is comfortable but limiting. It calls for the courage to trust that new opportunities, new relationships, and new experiences will bring greater fulfillment than anything left behind. In life, everything moves forward. The seasons change, time progresses, and nature constantly evolves. Human growth follows the same principle. The only way to become one's best self is by continuing to move forward. Whether it is in love, career, or personal development, true fulfillment comes from embracing the journey ahead, rather than returning to paths that have already been traveled. Life is a continuous learning process, filled with experiences that shape and refine an individual's understanding of themselves and the world around them. Every relationship, job, or place one encounters serves a purpose, offering valuable lessons that contribute to personal growth. However, it is crucial to recognize that these experiences are meant to be learned from, not clung to. When people hold on to the past instead of moving forward, they risk stagnation, repeating old mistakes, and hindering their own progress. Growth comes not from staying in the same place, but from taking the lessons life provides and applying them to new situations. For example, teach people about love, patience, trust, and sometimes even heartbreak. When a relationship ends, it is often because it no longer serves the growth of one or both individuals. There may have been conflicts, misalignments in values, or personal growth that made the relationship unsustainable. The pain of separation can sometimes create a longing to return, especially when memories of happier moments resurface. However, going back to a past relationship often ignores the reasons it ended in the first place. People may convince themselves that things will be different, but unless both individuals have undergone significant personal growth, the same problems will likely arise again. Holding on to a past relationship out of comfort, fear of loneliness, or nostalgia prevents the opportunity to meet someone who aligns better with one's evolved self. Instead of revisiting what was, it is essential to take the lessons learned, whether by communication, self-worth, or personal boundaries, and apply them to future relationships that have the potential for deeper fulfillment. Places hold emotional significance, but they too are part of a person's learning journey rather than their final destination. A childhood home, a town where memories were made, or a place where someone once thrived might feel like a safe haven. However, people outgrow places just as they outgrow relationships. A town that once felt like home may no longer provide the opportunities needed for growth. Clinging to it out of familiarity can limit one's potential, preventing exposure to new cultures, perspectives, and experiences that could lead to greater self-discovery. The memories of a place should be cherished, but they should not serve as a reason to remain in an environment that no longer aligns with one's evolving aspirations. Growth requires venturing into new spaces, embracing change, and allowing oneself to be shaped by new surroundings rather than being confined by the past. The same concept applies to jobs and careers. Every job teaches something, whether it is a specific skill, the importance of perseverance, or the realization that a particular career path is not fulfilling. Sometimes individuals leave jobs due to a lack of opportunities, toxic work environments, or the need for a new challenge. However, when faced with uncertainty or difficulty in finding something new, the idea of returning to an old job can seem appealing. It offers familiarity, financial stability, and a sense of security. But just like with relationships and places, going back to a job that was once left behind often means returning to the same limitations that once made it unfulfilling. Growth in a career requires embracing new opportunities, seeking challenges that push one's abilities, and stepping into roles that align with future aspirations rather than past circumstances. The lessons learned from previous work experiences should serve as a foundation for advancement, not a reason to settle for what is comfortable. Holding on to the past, whether in relationships, places, or jobs, stems from a fear of the unknown. Change is uncomfortable, and stepping into something new can feel daunting. However, growth happens in discomfort. The lessons from past experiences are meant to equip individuals with the wisdom and resilience needed to navigate new paths. Clinging to what was, instead of applying those lessons to what could be, prevents people from reaching their full potential. Life continuously offers new opportunities, but they can only be embraced when individuals are willing to let go of what no longer serves them. The past should be seen as a teacher, not a destination. Every experience, whether painful or joyful, provides insight that shapes future choices. Instead of reliving the same situations, people must recognize the value in moving forward with the knowledge gained. Carrying lessons forward allows for healthier relationships, better career decisions, and a more fulfilling life journey. The goal is not to erase the past, but to use it as a guide, ensuring that each step taken leads to something greater, rather than returning to what has already been left behind. True growth is achieved when people respect their own progress and choose to move forward, trusting that the best is yet to come. Familiarity has a way of creating a false sense of security. People often gravitate toward what they know because it feels comfortable, predictable, and safe. However, just because something feels familiar does not mean it is right for one's growth. Whether it is a past relationship, a place once called home, or a job left behind, familiarity can be deceptive. It creates an illusion that returning to the past will bring back the happiness or stability that once existed, but in reality, it often leads to stagnation. Growth requires movement, change, and the courage to embrace the unknown. Staying within the boundaries of the familiar can prevent a person from reaching their true potential. This deception is especially strong when a relationship ends. It is usually because something within it was no longer working. The end may have come through conflict, growing apart, or realizing that personal values and goals no longer align. However, after time passes, the mind tends to filter out the negative experiences and highlight only the good moments. This selective memory can make the past relationship seem better than it actually was, leading to the temptation to return. Familiarity makes people believe that rekindling an old romance will restore the feelings of love and connection they once had, but in most cases, the same issues that led to the breakup will resurface. The problems that existed before do not simply disappear with time. Instead of allowing nostalgia to dictate decisions, it is crucial to recognize that moving forward creates space for new, healthier, and more fulfilling relationships. The right person will align with the current version of oneself, not the past one. The same deceptive pull of familiarity applies to places. A hometown, a city filled with memories, or a place where one once found success can feel like a comforting retreat. However, people evolve, and the environments that once suited them may no longer support their growth. Returning to a familiar place may seem like a way to recapture a past version of happiness, but that version no longer exists in the same way. The people who once made that place feel special may have moved on. The opportunities that once felt abundant may no longer be available, and the individual returning is no longer the same person they were when they first left. Holding on to a place out of nostalgia can prevent someone from seeking new experiences that align with their current aspirations. Growth requires stepping into unfamiliar territory, meeting new people, and exposing oneself to new ideas and challenges. The world is vast, and staying confined to a place just because it feels familiar can limit personal and professional opportunities. In a career, familiarity can create a dangerous comfort zone. People leave jobs for many reasons: lack of growth, toxic work environments, dissatisfaction, or the pursuit of greater opportunities. However, when faced with uncertainty, financial struggles, or the difficulty of finding something new, the idea of returning to an old job can feel like a safe and logical choice. It offers predictability, a known routine, and a sense of stability. However, the same reasons that once made someone leave that job still exist. If a workplace lacked opportunities for advancement before, it likely still does. If the environment was toxic, going back will not change that dynamic. Returning to an old job can mean settling for less than what one truly deserves. Instead of retreating to what is known, individuals should trust in their ability to find new opportunities that better align with their skills, ambitions, and personal fulfillment. True professional growth comes from seeking challenges, learning new skills, and pushing past the limits of what feels comfortable. The deceptive nature of familiarity lies in its ability to make people believe that going back will restore what once was. However, the past is not a place to live. It is a place to learn from. Every experience serves a purpose, whether it is a relationship that taught valuable lessons, a place that provided a sense of belonging for a time, or a job that helped develop certain skills. But once that purpose has been fulfilled, it is important to move forward rather than cling to what is familiar. Growth requires trust in the unknown. It demands faith in one's ability to adapt, to learn, and to thrive in new environments. Staying within the boundaries of familiarity may feel safe, but it is also limiting. The greatest opportunities, the most meaningful relationships, and the most rewarding experiences come from stepping beyond the past and embracing what lies ahead. The key is to recognize when familiarity is holding one back and to have the courage to move forward, knowing that true fulfillment is found in progress, not in repetition. Change is the only constant in life, yet many people resist it out of fear of the unknown. Holding on to the past can feel safe, but it prevents new experiences, new relationships, and new opportunities from unfolding. Embracing change is essential for personal growth because it allows individuals to evolve, learn, and discover new possibilities that they would never encounter if they remained in familiar territory. The most fulfilling lives are lived by those who are willing to step into the unknown with confidence, trusting that every change brings new opportunities. Clinging to the past can prevent someone from finding the love and connection they truly deserve. When people hold on to old relationships, whether through longing, regret, or the hope that things will change, they close themselves off from new possibilities. Every ending creates space for something new, but only if a person is willing to let go. Growth requires trusting that the right relationship will come at the right time, and that moving forward allows for deeper and more meaningful connections to develop. Staying stuck in the past only delays the happiness and love that could be found in the future. The same applies to places. Many people resist moving to new cities, traveling to unfamiliar places, or stepping outside their comfort zones because they fear the uncertainty of the unknown. However, growth happens when people expose themselves to new environments, cultures, and experiences. Every new place offers a chance to learn, to meet new people, and to discover strengths that may have never been realized otherwise. Those who embrace change find themselves enriched by the diversity of the world, while those who cling to the past often miss out on the opportunities that could transform their lives. Career growth also depends on embracing change. Many people hesitate to leave jobs that no longer serve them because they fear instability or the effort required to start over. However, staying in a job that does not offer growth, fulfillment, or alignment with one's aspirations can lead to years of stagnation. The most successful individuals are those who take calculated risks, seek out new challenges, and continuously push themselves to develop new skills. Every change in a career path brings opportunities to learn, to connect with new mentors, and to expand professional horizons. Growth requires the willingness to step into new roles, industries, or even entirely different career paths if it means aligning with personal and professional aspirations. Embracing change means understanding that life is always evolving and that resisting it only leads to missed opportunities. Every phase of life presents new possibilities, but they can only be accessed if a person is willing to let go of what no longer serves them. The past has already played its role, and the future is waiting to be shaped. Those who accept change with an open heart and a fearless mindset will always find themselves growing, evolving, and achieving greater levels of fulfillment. The unknown is not something to fear, but something to welcome, for it is within uncertainty that the greatest opportunities lie. Nostalgia has a way of painting the past in a romanticized light. It makes people remember only the good moments, while minimizing or even erasing the difficulties and struggles they once faced. This is why many individuals find themselves tempted to return to old relationships, familiar places, or past jobs. However, emotional maturity teaches that making decisions based on nostalgia rather than wisdom can lead to repeated mistakes. Growth requires acknowledging the past for what it was, both the good and the bad, while making choices that align with the present and future rather than an idealized version of what once was. The past no longer serves you. Life is a journey of continuous growth, and each chapter serves a purpose in shaping who a person becomes. However, there comes a time when the past no longer contributes to that growth, and holding on to it can prevent an individual from reaching their full potential. Whether it is an old relationship, a hometown filled with memories, or a job that once provided stability, returning to the past in hopes of reclaiming what once was is often a step backward rather than forward. The experiences of the past are valuable because they teach lessons, build resilience, and provide clarity about what truly matters. However, their purpose is to guide, not to anchor. A person who understands this realizes that revisiting old chapters will not rewrite the story in a better way, but will instead keep them from moving toward new opportunities. Relationships often end for a reason, whether due to incompatibility, lack of mutual respect, or personal growth that led both individuals in different directions. Yet nostalgia has a way of making the past seem better than it was, highlighting the good moments while minimizing the struggles. The comfort of familiarity may tempt someone to rekindle a past romance, believing that things will be different the second time around. However, if the core issues of the relationship were never resolved, those problems will inevitably resurface. Growth means recognizing that love should not require constant struggle, and a relationship that has already run its course does not need to be revisited. The same is true for places. A hometown may hold deep sentimental value, filled with memories of childhood, friendships, and early dreams. However, people outgrow environments, just as they outgrow certain relationships. Returning to a place that no longer aligns with one's goals can lead to stagnation. The world is vast, filled with new experiences, perspectives, and opportunities that can only be discovered by stepping beyond the comfort zone. Growth requires movement, and staying in a place simply because it feels safe does not contribute to personal development. In a professional sense, leaving a job is often a necessary step toward advancement. People leave workplaces for various reasons: lack of fulfillment, poor work culture, or the need for greater challenges. Yet, when faced with uncertainty in a new job or difficulties in the job market, the idea of returning to an old position may seem appealing. However, the same limitations that made it an unfulfilling place before will still exist. Career growth demands stepping into new roles that challenge skills and push an individual toward greater aspirations. Settling for what is familiar limits one's potential, while embracing new opportunities allows for progress and success. Familiarity has a way of creating a false sense of security. People often gravitate toward what they know because it feels predictable and safe. However, just because something feels familiar does not mean it is right for one's growth. Whether it is a past relationship, a place once called home, or a job left behind, familiarity can be deceptive. It creates an illusion that returning to the past will bring back happiness or stability. But in reality, it often leads to stagnation. Growth requires movement, change, and the courage to embrace the unknown. Staying within the boundaries of familiarity can prevent a person from reaching their true potential. Honesty is especially strong when a relationship ends. It is usually because something within it was no longer working. The end may have come through conflict, growing apart, or realizing that personal values and goals no longer align. However, after time passes, the mind tends to filter out the negative experiences and highlight only the good moments. This selective memory can make the past relationship seem better than it actually was, leading to the temptation to return. Familiarity makes people believe that rekindling an old romance will restore the feelings of love and connection they once had. But in most cases, the same issues that led to the breakup will resurface.